GoPro just announced their brand new action camera lineup, and no, GoPro Hero 14 is not happening anymore. Instead, GoPro has decided to change the naming of the Hero cameras to Mission. Also, after around 5 years, GoPro is finally moving on from their problematic GP2 processor. Half a decade with GP2. That processor has been through more seasons than some Netflix shows. But now finally, GoPro is introducing the new GP3 processor, and according to them it will deliver category-leading image quality, battery runtime and thermal performance for extreme use cases. So yes, on paper this sounds like a serious upgrade. Now there are 3 cameras coming, but before we look at each one individually, let's talk about what they all have in common. All 3 cameras come with a 1-inch sensor, and all of them are powered by the new GP3 processor. That alone already makes this lineup feel very different from what we've seen before. The lowest model is the Mission 1. This camera can shoot 8K at 30 fps, 4K at 120 fps and 1080p at 240 fps for slow motion. Yes, the GoPro Hero 13 had already 2.7K 240 fps, but this model only gives you 1080p 240 fps. However, it also comes with 50 megapixel stills, which is a crazy jump from the Hero 13's 27.6 megapixel. So even the entry model is not playing around. Then we have the Mission 1 Pro. And to be honest, this one is probably my favorite. Everything is similar to the Mission 1, but the Pro version gives you much better frame rates. It can shoot 8K at 60 fps and 4K at 240 fps, which is honestly insane. I'm not even excited about 8K 60 as I am about 4K 240 fps. That is just wild for an action camera. On top of that, it can do 1080p at 480 fps, and you can even go up to a 10-second burst at 960 fps in 1080p. This is just ridiculous. In a good way, of course. Slow motion lovers are probably already breathing heavily. It also supports open gate 4x3 in 8K 30 fps and 4K at 120 fps, which basically means you can shoot first and decide later how you want to crop it for your platform, vertical or horizontal. So yes, shoot once, panic later. And then I believe their top tier camera is the Mission 1 Pro ILS. This one is basically the same as the Mission 1 Pro, but it has one killer feature that almost no action camera has. You can change the lenses. Yes, it uses micro four thirds camera lenses like Olympus camera lenses. That is a huge move. GoPro says the Mission 1 series cameras deliver category-leading resolutions, frame rates, runtimes, and thermal performance for mission-critical reliability even in the most demanding environments. So basically, they are claiming we may not see the overheating issues we saw in the past with almost all Hero series cameras. Or maybe we will still see overheating, just less of it. Did the GoPro fix the biggest issue with the Mission 1 series? Perhaps. We'll test that properly when we actually get the cameras in hand. And Nicholas Woodman, GoPro's founder and CEO, said that the Mission 1 series is the pinnacle of performance for low-cost, compact cinema cameras. So yes, we are now officially talking about cinema-grade action cameras. That's a bold statement, by the way. Then Pablo Lima, GoPro's Senior Vice President of Products, said, "We expect the Mission 1 series to expand the creative potential of filmmakers and creators around the world." So, according to GoPro, we are all about to become filmmakers with this tiny little beast. Can you imagine this? I'm not fully convinced yet, but we'll come back to that later. Now, there is also one major upgrade in the Mission 1 lineup. And honestly, this is something all of us have been waiting for since the first GoPro. Significantly improved low light performance. This new 1-inch sensor has a larger surface area, native 1.6 micron and massive 3.2 micron fused pixels. Now yes, that sounds very technical, very scientist in a lab code, but what does it actually mean? Basically, it means the camera should capture more light for more professional low light performance, and GoPro says it can deliver up to 14 stops of dynamic range at the sensor. Now there is one very tricky word there, up to, because I assume that 8K or 4K 240 FPS will probably not give you the full dynamic range, just like we've seen in the previous GoPro cameras. Usually the higher the resolution, the lower the dynamic range. And if I'm wrong, I really hope I'm wrong, because if that's not the case, then this could mean the best dynamic range we ever seen in an action camera. That will be huge. The new GP3 processor is also built on a 5nm design, and now it includes an AI neural processing unit, or NPU, which enables video pixel processing and better low light image performance. And GoPro is the latest action camera who is introducing AI now. At this point, I'm just waiting for the camera to start judging my composition choices. Now, let's talk about the battery. This is another upgrade. And I know many of us suffer from battery performance on the Hero 13 and older models. The Mission series now comes with new Enduro 2 batteries, which have 2150 mAh compared to the original Enduro battery's 1900 mAh. It is not a big jump, but the really good thing is that it now supports fast charging. Also, the Enduro 2 battery is compatible with the GoPro Hero 13, and older Enduro batteries are also compatible with the Mission 1 series, although with shorter run times. GoPro claims that the new battery in the Mission 1 can record for 3 hours at 4K 30 FPS and up to 5 hours at 1080p 30 FPS. And most probably they are in the lowest bit rates, but I'm not sure about it. If those numbers are real in actual use, that's a massive improvement. Now, to make things easier, what I understand from GoPro's statement is that the camera will now have 13 capture modes. I think this is basically like having presets already prepared for you. For example, there could be an underwater mode where the camera automatically adjusts the settings to best suit underwater shooting, or face aware framing and tone mapping in vlog mode. And of course, you can still create your own presets as well. So it sounds like GoPro is trying to make the camera smarter and easier to use. The Mission series will also support up to 240 megabit per second bitrate compared to the Hero 13's maximum 120 megabit per second bitrate. It can also capture HLG HDR, 10-bit color with GP Log 2 and timecode sync for multi-camera shoots. Now, based on my test, GP Log 1 was honestly a bit of a headache to color grade. So I really hope GoPro has improved that with GP Log 2. The GP3 also comes with a new advanced encoder which should help maximize quality while minimizing file size. So that all sounds very good, at least on paper. In terms of audio, there are multiple improvements too. Mission 1 cameras will come with 4 microphones and will record 32-bit float audio internally directly, which helps prevent clipping. And Bluetooth 5.3 audio lets you wirelessly connect to compatible devices to get better audio quality. So yes, finally the audio size is also getting some love. Now let's talk about underwater use. All GoPro cameras used to support 10 meters of waterproofing until now. But now the Mission 1 supports 20 meters waterproofing without a housing. That is serious improvement. But I'm not really sure how the Mission 1 Pro ILS will handle waterproofing since it has interchangeable lenses. That part is still unclear to me, and GoPro has not given a clear statement about that specific model yet. And then there are also going to be a lot of new accessories coming with this lineup. The most exciting one, in my opinion, is the new wireless microphone set. You can connect it directly to GoPro Mission cameras, but it also comes with a receiver, so you can connect the receiver to a camera, to your smartphone, to your phone, and use it as a standalone microphone system. And the microphones themselves are extremely small and light. From the pictures, they look very similar in size to the DJI Mic Mini or Mic 3, at least from what I can tell. Each mic gives you 6.5 hours of runtime, and the charging case provides 2 additional chargers. It also has up to 150 meters of wireless range, but there are 2 catches. It does not record in 32-bit float, it says at 24-bit. And the second one, it doesn't have an internal recording. Yes, it has a backup recording feature with 6 decibel less, but it doesn't record into the microphone itself. Or at least they haven't mentioned it, maybe they surprised us, I don't know. So my big question here is it compatible with DJI mic systems? Most probably yes, through Bluetooth, because Hero 13 already supported with the Bluetooth connectivity. But can you connect to DJI mics? The part we still don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Now, when will we actually get these cameras in our hands? The Mission 1 and Mission 1 Pro will start pre-orders on May 21st, and shelf availability will be on May 28, 2026. The Mission 1 Pro ILS will be available at the beginning of Q3, most likely in July. So yes, not too far away. Now honestly, this upgrade looks insane, especially for people who like to shoot in low light and at higher frame rates. This update really feels like a game changer. But I still have some crazy questions in my mind, and I'll be honest with you. Question number 1. Higher resolution is not always better image quality. We saw this in the DJI Action 6, Ace Pro 2, and even with GoPro Hero 13's 5.3K, where higher resolutions often sacrifice processing power just to deliver those bigger numbers, and that usually means lesser dynamic range or more noise. So will the GoPro Mission series have similar issues? That's a very important question. And question number 2. GoPro says the GP3 is 2 times faster than GP2. But was GP2 even enough for the Hero 13? Because with those specs, it almost feels like the Hero 13 needed GP3 already. And now, if the specs are jumping almost double in many areas, shouldn't we need a processor that is maybe 4 times faster, not just 2 times? So are we still going to see overheating issues, lagging, performance bottlenecks? That question is still very much alive. And question number 3. GoPro also announced a 14% larger OLED rear display, but they have not said anywhere whether the screen is actually more responsive. And I struggle a lot with the laggy screen on the Hero 13. So okay, bigger is nice, but is it better? Also, what about the front screen? Is it finally a touch screen? No, I really don't think so. And the question number 5. Does the Mission 1 Pro LS come with a lens? Or do I need to go buy my own lens separately? And from the pictures, what I understand is that there are no electrical pins, which probably means fully manual focus. So if this is supposed to be a cinema action camera, how exactly am I supposed to deal with focusing while in action? That means you would have to pull focus manually. How are you going to do that while riding, running, jumping, or doing anything remotely action related? And also, how will this model be waterproof up to 20 meters if the lens itself is not waterproof? As far as I know, there are no waterproof lenses on the market. For stationary shots, maybe it's okay to pull focus manually, but what's the point of buying an action camera for stationary shots? So yes, I have a lot of questions, and I hope we will get the answers very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the full review when I get the camera in my hands. See you in the next video.